Today, I paid my fines after a life of crime and drug addiction. When I walked into that courtroom, they shackle you. I hadn't shaved in a couple of weeks. Looking bad, looking broken. When I walked in, I saw my wife. She wasn't my wife anymore. She had already divorced me in the midst of all this stuff. And so why she was there, I have no idea. But, well, she still loved me. We had kids together. She still loved me. He sentenced me to 2 years. He dropped the gavel. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my life is over. That was it. I was done. I cried. I just walked out of the courtroom. They took me downstairs. They march you on a bus, and then you take this ride. You take this ride down the freeway. And there's a noise that you never forget. When the bus drives in, and the gate shuts and it's real slow. And when that gate hits the other side, it makes this noise, and it's this. I'm the youngest of 9, so I was kind of left to fend with my brother for ourselves. My parents, they did drink a lot. They would come home and tear the house up. My brother pretty much took care of me. He was a hippie in the 70s. I used to tell on him for smoking pot. I was in 4th grade and I had stayed home sick from school, and he had come downstairs. He goes, I know you're not sick. And he goes, I'm going to tell on you. He lived in the attic, and I went up there, and there was this glass jar with a bowl on it and a tube. And if you're going to tell him, you should know what you're telling on me for. And I smoked reefer for the first time in 4th grade. It kind of just snowballed. Started doing LSD, then I started selling it. I started freebasing and realized that I loved it. By the time I was 21, I had been to treatment a couple of times. Within 6 months, I was full-on junkie again. I met the girl that I married, the mother of Riley and Maddie. I hid it from her until I disappeared for like 3 days, and she didn't even see it coming. She was a nervous wreck.
My desire in my heart is to help people, so when I see the guy that I married hurt, he just hurt so bad. And he would cry and be like, I am so sorry. You don't deserve this. Why don't you just leave me? And then it would just tear me apart.
I'm just abandoning them every chance I get. I'm taking my paychecks. I'm not coming home.
I could never understand what about this drug. What about it makes you walk away from your wife and children?
I come home Sunday night broke, no money, no diapers, no formula, no money for bills or food, and would face the how could you do that? And I'm going into treatment, I'm doing a week, and I'm like, oh, I'm fixed, yeah, I don't need treatment no more. And I'd stay sober for a couple weeks, and this was the track record. It went on for 10 years. My wife stuck with me for 10 years.
Rock bottom was probably when he ended up doing time and went to jail. And that's when I finally had gotten out of my mom's house, lived on my own, was working, paying my own bills, and moving on. I was done.
Got in enough trouble to see a judge again, and there was no, I can't give you any more chances, Mr. Bradford. We have to incarcerate you, and hopefully that will be what you need. Good luck to you. And that was that. And so I went to prison. My wife divorced me. I came out. I'm getting high again, but I'm not just getting high a little bit. We're bordering on overdose just about every day. Every time where your mind's a little bit clear, we haven't gotten high in a few hours, you're thinking about the kids that are at home in their bed, missing their dad. That's crazy. And so you dull it. And it's a cycle. Inside you pray. You're like, I want to live. And then the thoughts kick in, how do I end this? But you're too much of a coward to end it because you were too much of a coward to walk away, so you can't end it because you don't know how. And when you're ready, God sends people. I pulled up in my mom's driveway, and generally the drill was pull up in the driveway and she's not letting you in the house. I had robbed her on many occasions. I walked up on the porch and it's dark, and she had the door open, which was very unusual. And she brought the phone to me. Hey, he's like, oh, we should get together and talk. And I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, I'll call you this week. And he's just like, we should talk tonight. I'm like, I don't have any gas. He's just like, I'll come to you. I'm like, I don't have anything to say. He goes, that's okay, you can listen. And that was it. He showed up. We talked for hours. Heart and love and tears, and we cried together and we laughed together. And for the first time ever, there was some man that didn't want anything from me but to see me get healthy. And I felt that.
Greg knew that he needed something supernatural in his life. He'd been through all the programs.
He just sewed into me every day. We broke bread together. We ate lunch together. He would drop me off. And when I got paid at the end of the week, he would give the money to my mom.
I took a risk bringing Greg on and letting him work with me.
This transformation thing way inside, it's a hard thing. So it's a condition, a hard condition.
I heard people telling me, hey, you know what? You don't know how many times he's done this. I heard that. I did it in faith, and faith and risk go hand in hand.
I just focused and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to do drugs. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to let people down. God's going to send a man to do the work. Because God's not going to come down here and hug me. So that I could be set free from the spirit of addiction and this bondage, these chains that held me down for my entire life.
We just had our 3rd year anniversary of being remarried again. And this life now with him is, I can't even describe.
I had my children back in my life. Every day I get to see my kids.
I had no trust in him. I wouldn't even turn my back on him in a room. And now I trust him more than any human being like on the face of the earth.
Every day, I thank God for that man.
Government programs can't change lives, and it can change habits, it can change addictions maybe.
Because I wasn't worth saving as far as I was concerned, but every single person, and that's why we do what we do here. Because every single person is worth saving. Every single one. There's no one that's not worth saving. Not one.
I came from a place where people getting shot was the norm, you know, and poverty was the norm, and people not having shoes sometimes, to a person that owns a business and able to bless other people. It just shows me repetitively that anything is possible.
They're looking for hope. They're looking for a change. There are people that don't know any other life because it's been passed down from grandparents to parents to children.
And instead of people running from it, we should be running to it. Nobody is willing to take a risk to bring a solution. And I know what the solution is. Back in 1924, when this building was built, they thought they were building a school building. Little did they realize that they would actually be building a church that would house a treatment center for people that were homeless and addicted to drugs.
This is where we're thinking about actually housing the homeless, but you can see that it's going to take a lot of work. So you don't have to live this life no more. Come on, you don't have to live under this bridge no more. Come on, you don't have to be beat by your husband no more. You can come here, okay, and you can get the love and the attention and the treatment that you need properly. They're going to know that they're coming to get loved. It's not going to be just a place to bed down. It's going to be a place to come get loved and a place to get on their feet, because they're going to work with us to get us back to being productive members of society, paying our taxes, living in a house, having a family. That's the American dream. The dream is this. I know where I came from. I know that had maybe there been something like this for me to go to in the area, maybe, just maybe I could have got cleaned up and helped a lot earlier.